I have the pleasure of welcoming Dr. Varidh Katiyar in DAMS studio today. Dr. Varidh Katiyar, a wonderful person, a genius, a scholar. Talking of his ranks, AIIMS November 2015 PGME exam, rank 3. PGI Chandigarh November 2015, rank 20. And NIMHANS PG entrance exam, rank 12. Wonderful performance. We are really fortunate to have him with us today. Congratulations, Dr. Varidh, on your wonderful performance. How are you feeling?
Thank you so much. Of course, I am feeling very great. I am feeling happy for my ranks. But more than that, I am feeling relieved that I have finally completed this mammoth task of getting selected into PG entrance. I would no longer have to study for so long hours. I am really feeling relieved because of this.
Oh yes, that is definitely a point of great relief, and a point of great relief for the country as well, because a very good doctor is coming up in the PG and going to help the citizens of India. Dr. Varidh, would you mind sharing your secret of the success?
Well, as I said, success has no secret. The only key to success is hard work. But apart from my own hard work, I would like to dedicate my success to my family and friends. Without them, I would have never reached the level that I have reached. I personally believe that whatever I am today is because of my parents. A person is sum total of the complex interaction between his genes and environment, and all of that is mostly decided by your family, especially your parents. So I would like to dedicate my entire success to my parents. Apart from the direct role that my parents have played, for example, my mother used to stay awake for long hours, late night, just so if I need anything. Other than that, friends also can never be taken out of this equation of success. I have had very few but very good friends. Some of my friends were more serious about me getting a single digit rank than I ever was. It was one of this friend's seriousness that kept me going and kept me serious throughout. Another fortunate thing was I had several previous toppers as my friends who had more faith in the ability that I have than I had. A topper telling you that if he can do it, you also can do it, that is something that would be the best morale booster that you can have.
Absolutely, that keeps you up, in your preparation
exactly.
as well. Great. So it's very nice knowing about all the people who have really, helped you out. That's wonderful. How was DAMS useful in your preparation? Do you mind telling us that?
DAMS was very useful, certainly in my preparation for the major subjects that come in fact in the full form of MBBS, medicine and surgery. I was totally banking on my DAMS notes that I had prepared during my classroom program. If it was not for that, I would have been intimidated by the huge course of these two main subjects. It was only because of DAMS that I could easily handle these subjects without any tension.
You're mentioning about long subjects like medicine and surgery being taken up by DAMS. How was it different, or how good was that? Can you just elaborate on that?
I'll elaborate the two subjects separately. Especially the surgery classes. The surgery classes were such, if you really pay attention in the class and prepare all the notes, then you do not need any other source for the preparation of surgery. Dr. Rajiv, who used to take the surgery class, has covered all the important topics in exactly as much detail as is needed for us to crack PG entrance. Same is the case with medicine. Dr. Arvind has handled all the concepts very beautifully. He explains everything in a very succinct way. The concepts do not feel like something very difficult when he is teaching. So this really helped me a lot, especially when I had to revise both these long subjects in a very small time. It really helped me a lot that way.
Well, that's wonderful to know. And one important thing that all our listeners would like to know, that how did you manage your time while you were preparing for such a tough exam?
Well, managing time was a little difficult because along with preparation, I was doing a house job. So I was not able to devote more than 5 to 6 hours per day for studies. Though in my last month, I devoted around 10 to 12 hours per day. The most important thing is you should never be out of that zone of exam preparation. Even when you are relaxing, you should be doing something that keeps you in track for the exam. So other than that, you should always take note of the very small wastage of time that occurs, say while you are traveling in a metro and things like that. You should always try to utilize those small chunks of time that usually get wasted. Especially for those who are doing some duty and do not have a major chunk of 4 to 5 hours to study. So they should always pay attention to utilizing this small time zones.
That's really a very valuable information that you're sharing with us. Let me just ask you, what was your method of preparation? Was that selective or extensive or consolidating in theory and focusing more on questions? What was your method of preparation?
Well, I always prefer to read theory first and then go on to attempting questions. Both of the things are very important. Whenever we usually think about PG preparation, we are more focused on gaining a lot of knowledge of subject. Apart from gaining the subjective knowledge, attempting question is very important. However, for my case, the skills of attempting question were already very good from the beginning. That is why I wanted to focus more on my weak points. And my weak point was always the subjective knowledge of the subjects. That is why before this November 15, I've always focused more on gaining the basic knowledge of all the subjects, and that is how I oriented my preparation.
Oh, that's great. And let me just remind my listeners that we are talking to Dr. Varidh Katiyar, Rank 3 AIIMS November 2015 PGME entrance exam, Rank 20 PGI Chandigarh November 2015 and Rank 12 NIMHANS PG entrance exam. That's wonderful. So just to conclude this thing, I would like to know, what is your perfect mix of your success?
Well, if I want to give a formula for success, as I mentioned in the previous question, it's not just one thing, knowledge or MCQ skills. It has to be both of them, and both of them have to be reasonably good. I would give you my example. Some people are good at attempting questions and lack in knowledge. Their preparation should mainly be focused on gaining greater knowledge. You should always work on the factor that is limiting. So for me, it was more of knowledge based thing, but for majority of people around, they have a decent base of knowledge, but still they do not get very good ranks. And the reason is they are lacking in the other factor. They should focus on that limiting factor of attempting MCQs, of how to find out the right answer, how to use logic in their favor, eliminating the obviously impossible options and reaching the right answer. So that becomes limiting factor for them, and that is why I believe that most of the students should also focus on that, while majority of students are actually not focusing on this in spite of this being their limiting factor in getting a rank.
Well, that's great. Tell me something, Dr. Varidh. Do you think the DAMS faculty has helped you in, in consolidating your effort? Have they just given you the knowledge, or have they mentored you also for, preparing yourself in totality to take a tough exam?
Well, exactly. Even in knowledge is not simple collection of facts. A very important aspect of knowledge, especially for exams like AIIMS entrance, is the conceptual understanding. As I said, especially in medicine and several other subjects, the DAMS faculty teaches in a way that you are able to actually grasp the concept instead of just rote learning of the facts, and that is what is encouraged during the classroom teaching as well. So without that conceptual understanding, it is not possible to actually attempt all the questions in the right way. You will never be able to find the right answer to a new question if you have just learned the facts. But if you have paid attention in the class, if you have paid attention to the concepts that the teachers are telling you, then using those concepts, even the questions which are new to you, you can find the right answer to those questions.
And you're referring to the teachers, that is the DAMS faculty, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's great, that's great. Okay, kindly continue.
Yeah, that.
Okay, that's all. Thank you very much for all that valuable, information and all the inputs here. I'm sure all my listeners are going to be benefited by that. Now, as we all know, the DAMS is very active on the online medium like the Facebook and all. What is your experience regarding that, Dr. Varidh?
This is one of the things that I mentioned, that you should never be out of the exam zone. So DAMS activity on the on Facebook and other social medium was a very good factor to help me in that.
Okay, and
Even when I was
Yeah.
even when I was relaxing, even when I was not studying per se from my books, and I used to get distracted and open Facebook, the DAMS updates coming on different topics used to help me to get back on track. And usually the updates of DAMS on the Facebook are very helpful in the way that you're not going to find those in any books, but those are very relevant for the examination. Several conceptual topics are covered there. Several controversial topics are explained by the subject matter experts in a very good detail. So, and whenever you have a doubt, you can ask those questions on the Facebook page, etc. And the faculty is so good to answer that so promptly that your time doesn't get wasted because of this. And it's a one good source from which you can clear all your doubts.
Well, that's nice to know, and let's just move on. We all know that DAMS conduct the DVT session at Talkatora Stadium every year. Did you attend that in 2015?
I wanted to attend that, but unfortunately I could not attend because I had to cover a lot of syllabus by then. But I certainly would have wanted to attend it, and especially considering the exam pattern this time, I would really suggest all my juniors to attend it. I have heard from many of my friends who have attended that session that more than a majority of the questions, visual based questions that came, were already covered in the DVT session. So it's a really it would be a really helpful program for my juniors, and I personally would have liked to attend it if I had time.
Well, that doesn't matter much now. With rank of 3 in AIIMS PGMA exam November 2015, it does not really matter. Well, DAMS also conduct a CBT. Did you take it?
I personally did not take CBT because I usually am very comfortable with computer-based tests. But as I have known from many of my friends, a lot of my friends, especially from peripheral colleges, they are not very accustomed with the computer-based testing pattern, and this particular testing pattern intimidates many people. Now, as I was saying, it is very important in exams like AIIMS PGME to use your brain at the time of examination. When you would be tensed about the pattern of the exam, you would be attempting the actual questions with only 50% of your mind, and that would hurt your rank a lot. That is why I would advise everyone who feels even a little tensed because of the computer based pattern to have a very good practice, and DAMS CBT would be the best thing for that. If you are having such tests multiple times before your actual exam, that fear would be gone, and finally in the main exam you would be able to concentrate less on the pattern of the exam and more on the questions.
Well, that's very, very nice and very aptly put by you. And let me just remind my listeners, I'm talking to Dr. Varidh Katiyar, rank 3 AIIMS PGME November 2015, rank 20 PGI Chandigarh November 2015, and rank 12 NIMHANS PG Medical Entrance Exam. Well, I would like a fair answer from you, Dr. Varidh, on the question that in the entire time that you spent at DAMS, preparing, for the tough exam of PGME, what difference did you find in yourself? What difference did you feel inside that from the day of joining till the actual exam was taken by you?
Well, a single word answer would be my confidence on my ability to tackle such a great task. Before I joined DAMS, I guess this would be applicable to everyone, but for me, I can tell personally that you are totally clueless when you start with the preparation, and you need a very good mentor. You need a path which you can follow, which you yourself are too naive to decide at that time. So you need to trust on the judgment of others who are experts for that very field, and DAMS was exactly that for me. So before I joined DAMS, I had no clue how to start the preparation for PG entrance. But after I completed with the course, I knew exactly what I need to do in each and every subjects with the faculty inputs about each of them, and I felt really confident about whether I can tackle this exam or not, and how to tackle the exam. If I had some weakness, what those weaknesses are, and how to remove them.
Well, that's very nice to know. Thank you very much for the information that you're sharing with us and with our listeners. As we all know, the DAMS is known for coming up with new things, new ideas, and keep on changing the pattern. There's no monotony at DAMS. We have come up with a lot of publications of late, be it the CRS, which is our classical study material, or the Last Look series, and the latest in that is the Harrison's Notebook. Can we have a quick opinion of yours on these publications?
Well, I would like to recommend this Harrison's notebook to everybody, because Harrison especially is something that is too daunting for any medical student to complete cover by cover, and it is so intimidating that most of the people end up not touching it. And this Harrison's notebook would be the best thing for all such students. They can get all the important points from the Harrison that would be required for tackling the PG entrance without the accompanying intimidation. So, I would like to really congratulate DAMS for this upcoming new techniques, this constant changes, because the real exam that we are tackling also is continuously evolving. So it is very necessary for the preparation strategy to evolve similarly, and it is not possible for PG aspirant per se to himself or herself evolve according to the exam. Only experts like DAMS faculty can help you do that.
Well, definitely right on that thing, because the PGME examination in the country has gone for a somersault in the past few years. Those who have been taking the exams would agree to that, and we try to just keep up with that so that all those who are coming and joining us are in safe hands, and we try to deliver our best so that they can deliver their best. Well, we are talking to Dr. Varidh Katiyar, rank 3 AIIMS November 2015, rank 20 PGI Chandigarh November 2015, rank 12 NIMHANS 2015. Before we move ahead, let me ask you a personal question. Which faculty in DAMS influenced you most?
Well, the answer would be known to everybody. It would be Dr. Sumer Sethi. Apart from his conceptual teaching about radiology, that is of course something to gain from him, but most importantly, the first time I came into contact with Dr. Sumer Sethi was when he came to Pulse, and he gave a lecture on how to crack PG entrance. At that time, I was not even thinking about PG entrance per se. Clearing my professional exam was in itself a good task in front of me. So he really he was a person who instilled that thought in me about cracking the PG entrance. Other than that, I had many times talked to Dr. Sumer Sethi for regarding my career opportunities, because I knew he had taken up 6 year MCS neurosurgery earlier in AIIMS. So I wanted to get an idea from him about my career choices, and I really found his inputs very helpful for that. So the faculty who influenced the most was of course Dr. Sumer Sethi.
Well, that's very kind of you. That's very nice to know as well. And however, our listeners have got a hint that in which branch you are going to specialize in. But let me ask you straightforward, which branch you wish to specialize in?
Well, I am not very sure about it, but it would most probably be 6 year MCS neurosurgery in AIIMS.
I wish you all the best for that to you. And before just we wind up this conversation, let me just ask you, any advice for your juniors?
Well, I would like to repeat the most important thing that I have already covered somewhere in the interview, and that would be focus specially on your weaknesses. The weaknesses especially which can be improved. Don't sulk much about the non-modifiable weaknesses. Your preparation strategy should not be an imitation of a previous topper strategy. I have known the toppers of previous 2-3 times, and I can assure you that each and every topper has a different strategy, but the special thing about that strategy is the strategy caters to that particular topper. The preparation strategy should be such which utilizes your strength to the fullest and minimizes the impact of your weaknesses. It should not be something that previous topper did. It should be something that will make you the topper.
And would you
So you should
recommend?
always try to find out the limiting factors. For example, everyone focuses on the main two questions that are asked is how many hours did you study and what books did you study. These two are the least important questions in asking how to succeed in the exam. Everyone may study for the same hour and get different things done. There are several other important factors. A very important factor is your reading speed. For example, if I can study just one page in a particular time and someone else can study 3 pages in that time, there is no point in comparing that both of them are studying for 12 hours or 10 hours or 1 hour.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
these all weaknesses you should find out. I'll personally say that I have improved on my reading speed, and if I would not have, then I would not have got this rank.
Well, definitely.
So you should really find out your weaknesses and work on them.
That's very valuable piece of advice to all the listeners and all the aspirants. But let me just ask you, would you recommend your juniors to join DAMS or?
Well, as I have covered in the interview, DAMS, several programs, different programs of DAMS like DBT, CBT, and I myself have said about medicine and surgery. It would have been impossible for me to complete this without the help of the DAMS notes that I had prepared. So I don't think any PG aspirant would be not intimidated by the level of the work that is required, and it is very difficult for someone to handle so much work on his or her own, and DAMS is a very reliable place for getting all the help that you need for this particular work. And I would advise all of my juniors to join DAMS so that this daunting journey towards PG entrance becomes a walk to the park for you.
Well, that's definitely wonderful inputs by you, and thank you very much. We were talking to Dr. Varidh Katiyar, AIIMS November 2015 rank 3, PGI Chandigarh November 2015 rank 20, NIMHANS PG exam rank 12. We wish you all the best in life and a great career in medicine for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and I wish good luck to all my future PG aspirants. Good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.